up at Camp Bob, and because the ground got turned to mud during the winter months, I've been putting some geotextile membrane down. This is behind my shelter next to the outhouse, so I've raked that back to it's just on the earth, got all the mulch off that was already there, just leaf litter, pine needles, twigs, whatever the wind blows down. That's all been raked back, so it's now mud, and I've put the textile down, pinned it down with some galvanised nails just to hold it in place for now, and we're going to cover it with leaf litter, and once it's done it'll look like this. I've already done both sides of the deck, just the areas of high foot traffic, which, because it was just turning into mud, so the path to the outhouse and this side of the shelter, or this side of the deck, and I've just put the last barrow of mulch down on this side of the deck. And again, this is all naturally occurring leaf litter that we're finding elsewhere in the wood. Go to an area that's not often used around the edges and just rake up the top layer of the leaf litter, bring it here, dump it down, and it'll soon bed down. Doesn't need to be that deep round there, because it's not, doesn't get used as often, you know what I mean? I'm not sure you're picking this up, it's got on the internal microphone, but this is the second to last barrow, and on the last barrow I brought over, I suddenly found out that what I thought was a handle at the front of the barrow, I'll show you it now. This handle pulls out. It's not actually a handle, I thought it was just an additional handhold. You pull it, sprung loaded, and the barrow lifts up. Let me demonstrate. Yeah, so the handle that I thought was just a handle allows me to do that. Oh my god, and you found out at the end. I am such a plum. Baz, a cracking piece of kit, mate, cracking piece of kit. Let's hope people don't overload it and break it. The last load, get this dumped and then spread it out and we're done. Then we're going to have, as it's Easter Sunday, we're going to have our Sunday dinner up here, buckwheat for tea. What we're having? Lamb shanks. We've got a couple of lamb shanks in gravy to sort out with some veggies. So get this finished, have a drink of a non-alcoholic variety, and then we're done for the day. We can have a relax and have our... Here she comes in the shop. Say hello.
Hello, kettle's on.
Kettle's on. So I'm going to tip this with the handy dandy. Trust me to find it only with the last 2 loads. Tippy truck. Baz, you're a star. You're a genius. Unfortunately, I'm an idiot and didn't realise. What I would ask people to do, lads, don't overload it. It's a cracking piece of kit. Makes life so much easier. But if you... Well, there you go. Finished. Just in time for the She-That must be a bird to come out the loo. And no more muddy trails. Yeah, in the wet weather this turns to mud in no time whatsoever, and it just gets trampled into the shelter.
And it doesn't help with your dog digging holes.
This might not stop him, but we'll see. So rather than mud getting trampled into the shelter, put the textile down, water can penetrate it, and just leaf litter gathered from the wood spread about.
Bits of moss.
And bits of moss. She does this, she interjects, and then I lose my train of thought, but I love her to bits. And she swears at me. I'll reframe the shot so she's in. What was I saying before I was so rudely interrupted and swore at?
Leaf litter.
Leaf litter. It's gathered from the wood, so it's naturally occurring stuff that's going to be here anyway. And it'll just replenish itself over time. And if I need a bit more, I can rake a bit up in the wood somewhere, and at the edges of the wood where people don't tend to go, and scatter it around here. We'll see if this improves everything. It did improve the drainage over by the kitchen, the camp kitchen. We put a piece down which was getting a lot of traffic, and put some wood chippings on top, and that made a huge difference. So hopefully in the areas that we walk on, there you go, demonstrating by sexy pants there, this should make a difference with luck. Now I'm going to go and have something to eat. No, I'm not. I'm going to have a cold drink because it's a lovely day up here. Late afternoon sunlight here at camp. The mulch we put down is working a treat. It's making the place look better. We're not trampling as much mud into the shelter. And we've just had our tea, or our dinner, depending on where that you are in the world, our evening meal. It was rather nice lamb shanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice lamb shank in a rich gravy, mint gravy, boiled potatoes and veggies, followed by a cup of tea, or coffee in my case, and a slice of Seminole cake because it's Easter. So we're now just going to while away the next hour or two enjoying ourselves up here at Camp Bob until we go home. In fact, I'm going to have a wander down because Ryan and Russ are here working on Russ's shelter, so I want to have a wander and talk to them.
Honestly, you are an absolute fanny.
Now I'm not sure if he's talking to his brother or the dog. We will find out. So we wandered down and had a chat with Ryan and Russ. I didn't record any more video as they were packing up to leave. So after they'd gone, Karen and I went back to our shelter, started having a tidy round, made sure the fire was out, everything was put away, and then started packing our things. Once things were all packed away and all the bags loaded back into Baz's handy green trolley, we closed the cabin up, covered everything up, and headed back to the gate, loaded the car and set off for home, where a nice hot bath and a couple of painkillers were awaiting me, as My knees were screaming at me. I'd done a little bit too much, I think, but that's because I'm old and knackered. Anyway, that was our day up at Camp Bob on Easter Sunday. So, thanks for watching. Bye for now. Ta-ra.
Thanks for watching Old Man in a Shed.